Hey, good morning. Good morning, everyone. I'm looking forward to talking about this subject today and looking forward to seeing some of you girls and catching up. Um, it's a little bit early, so some of you are probably going to be jumping on here. But I'm going to go ahead and start diving in. So if you are on here live with me, just say hey so I know you're here. Say something in the comments. And if you happen to be watching the replay, then just comment #replay so I can keep engaging with you. Hey Cindy, how are you? Good morning. It's bright and early. It's even earlier where you are, huh? Hey Tracy, good morning. Oh my goodness. So good to see you on here, and hopefully we'll get to catch up later today. So good to see you. So today I have something that I'm looking forward to talking about, and I know it might feel a little deep, and we're kind of talking about some things that we usually would probably rather just like keep tucked away in the closet, nice and neat, and or sweep it under the rug. But I really feel that you're being prepared to soar and to go higher and to step into your next season. And so, I want to give you just not just an encouraging word, but I want to give you the tools to make sure that there's nothing holding you back, right? Like there's nothing that's keeping you grounded, because your next level is here. Your new season is here. I know you can feel it. And so, I really believe that life is cyclical. I believe that everything about life is like, sometimes we think like, if I miss my season, if I miss this opportunity, then it's gone. But I really believe that life is cyclical, and if you don't get it the first time, it'll come around again. But I believe it always comes at a higher cost, the second time, the third time, the fourth time around. And so, like, I don't want you to miss your season. Hey Melissa, oh thank you, so good to see you on here. So I don't want you to miss your season, and I don't want anything to hold you back, to keep you grounded from soaring and stepping into your next season. And so one of the things that can keep you grounded, that can keep you stuck, right? Like there's too many women that are stuck, and that's not okay with me. It's not okay to be stuck, and I don't want you to settle and think, well, this is just what my life has come to. I just have to live stuck. No, you don't. And so one of the things that will keep you stuck is holding a grudge. And the experts say that most people are holding grudges, but they're so busy that it distracts them. And so those grudges get buried, okay? And then they turn into something deeper like resentment, bitterness, and just straight up unforgiveness, which we talked about last week. So, if you want to go back and watch the replay of last week, we talked about unforgiveness, and we're going to talk more about it next week as well. But, you might think to yourself, well, no big deal. I'm holding a grudge. Like, they deserve it, right? Like, they hurt me. And the problem is that a grudge is a deep-seated resentment, animosity, or a feeling of ill will towards someone who has mistreated you, been unfair, or hurt you in some way. In other words, you feel like they've done you dirty, right? How many have been done wrong? And it could be that you just even feel like life has done you wrong. Like, it's not fair that I have to do this. It's not fair that I had to go through this. sometimes we can even hold resentment or hold a grudge about our situation. And I think that is, it's, super powerful to become aware of, and just feel like, what, life isn't fair. So I really want to talk about that. And, and so a grudge is a self-protective mechanism, and it allows you to control. So when you have a grudge, when you have unforgiveness, when you feel like it's not fair, it's actually you're trying to control your situation, and it's you're trying to control whether or not you get hurt again. And so the problem is that when you're trying to protect yourself from being hurt again, you're living in unresolved pain. Now, again, I know we're going super deep, and this is not something that most people, that women, we really don't even want to talk about it. We don't even really want to acknowledge it. It's easier just to sweep it under the carpet and just like stay super busy, and so that we just don't have to acknowledge it. But these things are hiding, and they're keeping you grounded. They're keeping you stuck. So, so when it comes to the experts, a grudge is a way of controlling the situation. And so, so here's some ways to know if you're holding a grudge. Maybe you don't even think you're holding a grudge. Maybe you see this post this morning, this video, and you're like, I don't have any grudges. But I want you to do a check-in with yourself, okay? Because we're so busy and running the kids around, right? Like we're chauffeur, we're the laundromat expert, we're the chef, we're the activities director. We're everything to everyone else. And so I want you to take a minute just to do a check-in with yourself. So here's how to know if you're holding a grudge, even if you don't think that you are. If I want you to think about someone in your life, and then so when you think about that person, if you feel negative feelings, there's a grudge there, okay? So I want you to pay attention to your feelings when you think about people. Because again, I know I sound like a broken record, but we're so busy just like doing that we don't take time to just be, and just be present with our thoughts and our feelings, and use them as feedback for what's really going on. And so if you think about someone and then you have this maybe a feeling in the pit of your stomach, or you just have this like you feel gross or whatever, like that is feedback for you. There's something underneath there. Maybe you lose your cool, or you're easily irritated with someone, and it's not even over anything. It could be you put too much creamer in the coffee, or why is the toilet paper going the wrong way, right? Or like, why are you squeezing the tube of toothpaste in the middle of the tube? It could be something silly. Or if you just feel numb, that is a good piece of information for you to know that there's some grudge. There's something going on underneath the numbness, and the numbness is protecting you from feeling the bad feelings, okay? If you feel frustrated, that is, Cindy, oh my gosh, avoid them. Like you avoid those people. That's actually one of the next ones on my list. You're so right. Like you feel like you want to avoid them. Or get this, lady, like you say the ultimate F word. It's not the one you're thinking. And somebody says, are you okay? Come on, because people can read us, right? And what do we say? I'm fine. Okay, you're not fine. If you are saying, I'm fine, that is an avoidance technique. And there's more going on underneath there. So, when you think about someone, if you feel like that, just, oh, that bitterness, or you feel that resentment, you avoid them. And here's another one, girls. If you feel like, oh, it's not fair. Hey, Vernita. Hey, Heather. Yes, if you feel like, oh, it's just not fair, and you're just like, I just want them to see my point of view, that is a sign of an underlying grudge. Okay, so again, like, I just want you to check in with yourself, and if you have a grudge, there's no judgment. This is not about judging yourself, or talking harshly, or like, oh man, like, what's wrong with me? I have a grudge. Like, this is just normal life. But the more we pay attention to what's happening and do those check-ins with ourselves, we can get clear. Okay, because here's what I want you to think about. Have you ever considered the fact or the impact that the grudge is having on you? Okay, when you have a grudge on someone, it really has nothing to do with them. Like, it's not hurting them, except maybe that you've like cut yourself off from the relationship, so they're missing out on you. But really, the impact the grudge is having, it's on you. And so most grudges, remember we said they're like buried underneath our daily distractions. But here's what the experts say. When you hold on to a grudge and resentment, it's like drinking poison and expecting the other person to get sick. Okay, and so Angela Brudermeyer, she's a licensed psychotherapist, and she's got all these letters behind her name. But I think that's such a good way to think about it. Like, when we're holding resentment, when we hold a grudge, it's like, it's not really hurting. It's not really hurting them. Yeah, Vernita, it's actually probably causing even some health issues. There are so many health issues that are connected to unforgiveness. And so here's what I want you to know. Letting go of a grudge and forgiving someone, it does not excuse them or ignore their actions. Okay? Letting go of the grudge, it lets you off of a hook, and it releases you and allows you to be able to spread your wings and soar without being weighed down. So somebody just let me know in the comments if you're, just say freedom. I'm ready to soar, or something. Let me know, like, I'm letting go of anything that is holding me back from soaring. So it's I think sometimes it's like we talked about last week with the forgiveness. We think that if I let this person off the hook, if I that I'm letting them get away with something, right? But that's not true. It's actually just keeping us connected to that person in an unhealthy way. Melissa, that's a great way to say it. The grudge plants seeds in our garden, and it grows up as weeds. So that's really a great way to put it. That I love that. So yeah, I see, freedom. Yes. Okay, so as I close out today, I want to give you some questions that you can journal about and really take this to the next level for yourself. Because really, one of the things in this group that I want you to be able to do is I want you to learn how to coach yourself. I want you to be able to do a check-in with yourself. Notice the feelings you're feeling, and then instead of being distracted by busyness and burying them even deeper, I want you to be able to sit with them and have the tools to, really find out what's happening inside of your heart and then release it so that you can keep moving forward. And what's going to happen is you're going to create real momentum in your life. And so here's what I want you to do. I want you to think about who is that person that you're holding a grudge against. Now, again, you may have come in here and think like, I'm not holding a grudge. What I want you to do is I want you throughout this week, I want you to pray and I want you to ask God to reveal if there is anyone that you have secretly had a grudge against and buried it, okay? So I want you just to ask God to reveal it to you. And then I want you to write their names down. Just like keep this as your weekly journal, okay? You can come back. I'll post these questions in the comments afterwards, and that way you've got them to come back to. Okay, if you've identified someone that you're holding a grudge against, then I want you to ask yourself, what is the story that you've been telling yourself about yourself in relation to them? And so something happened. And so what is the story you're telling yourself? Because you're telling yourself a story that, like, either I'm not worth it, they disrespected me, so I'm not worth respecting. So I want you just to sit with that, and maybe the story is just that, it's not fair. And so, like, when you dig underneath, it's not fair, it's injustice, okay? And so there's underneath that is there's I'm owed something. And if you're owed something, that actually comes from a place of lack. In other words, like, I'm lacking something to prove who I am. So I want you to sit with that. So what exactly do you need to forgive them for? So this is a really important question, because sometimes, like, we kind of know, like, we have that feeling, that icky feeling when we think about someone, and we're like, okay, like, yeah, maybe there's something, maybe I need to forgive them. But then, like, I want you to think about, what do you actually need to forgive them for? Now, this sounds crazy, but, like, even in my own life, number one, when my life got turned upside down, there were people that I needed to forgive, but I needed to forgive myself. And guess what? This might sound crazy, but I needed to forgive God, because I was holding a grudge against God. Now that's deep right there. But once I realized this, I realized that, God can handle the fact that I had a grudge against him, and it wasn't hurting him, right? But it was hurting me. And so I had to do a lot of work around that. So now I want you to ask yourself the question, what is this grudge, what is this protecting me from? Okay? What is this grudge protecting me from? So again, maybe it's like protecting me from, like, I'll never let them hurt me like that again. Well, what if you did get hurt again? What would you do? You would probably be resilient, What if you did, what if they did speak rudely to you again? As you're in this group and you're learning not to take anything personally, and you remember that when someone's judging you, right? Maybe it's a fear you're protecting yourself from being judged. But remember, when someone is judging you, they're not judging you, they're judging themselves, right? Judge not lest you be judged. That's what the Bible says. So when someone is judging you, they're not judging you. They're judging something inside of you like you become a mirror that shines a light on the areas where they feel like they're not enough. So guess what? You can be completely released from the fear of judgment from this day going forward. Okay. Next question. What are the prices that you've been paying for holding on to this grudge? This is huge because I want you to see like what this is causing you, how this is holding you back, how this is keeping you grounded. So what are the prices that you're paying for holding a grudge? And then what would it feel like to walk in freedom? That's the last question. I want you to really dig into that, and I want you to picture yourself completely free and having let go of the grudge. And what would it feel like if you were to walk in that freedom? I want you to sit in that feeling because you've been accustomed to feeling the bad feelings when you think about that person. I want you to think about how you would feel when you walk in freedom. So I hope this has been helpful to you. If you're watching replay, let me know in the comments, replay. And so ladies, if you're on here, what is your biggest takeaway from today? What is something that you're going to walk away with this morning after watching this video? I would love to hear from you. So your homework again is to do a check-in with yourself. Get quiet. Pay attention to those feelings. And then I want you to answer those questions. And I'll post the questions in the comments so that you've got them. But let me know your biggest takeaway from today. Letting go of grudges brings freedom. Yes, it does. Absolutely. That's so good. Vernita, I miss you. Oh my goodness. We have to catch up this week. Yeah, who else? Let me know. What are your biggest takeaways from this today? And I want to ask you this. You have to work because you just realized you're holding. Oh, wow. Okay, Cindy, that's amazing. That's amazing. And guess what? Like, this is a judgment-free zone. And so recognizing that like someone came to your mind, oh my gosh, now you can step into freedom and it's going to impact your whole life because oh my goodness. So when you are holding a grudge against someone and you don't realize it, it's buried deep. It's like you have this filter in front of you. So you see everything through that filter of what happened with that person. And sometimes you can even like assume that the new people in your life they're doing the same thing, but it really has nothing to do, like it's not connected. So, oh my gosh, I'm so excited for you. That's amazing. Yes, awesome. Vernita, so fun to have the girls on here. Great. I love to keep hearing from you. What are your biggest takeaways from this morning? So I'm going to go ahead and sign off, but keep posting. If you think of more questions that come up for you, then just let me know. In the comments. I'll be watching the comments all throughout the day. And ladies, let's rise up. Let's go through the that metamorphosis that is wanting to take place inside of us and not give any person or our past any power to stop us from doing anything but stepping into the fullness of who God created us to be. So, okay, I love you all. I'll be here and keep talking to me. And I will see you next week. We're going to, let me tell you real quick what our Oh, okay. Sorry, I forgot one thing. Let me tell you that I didn't tell you the ending of this exercise. I want you to get some. You might need some tissue for this one, but once you see that person and you realize like, oh yeah, I've got a grudge against that person, then I want you to, in your quiet time, I want you to sit down in a chair. That's facing another chair, and I want you to imagine that person is sitting down in front of you, and I want you just to like tell them how they hurt your heart and let them know, even though they're not really going to be there. I just want you to like imagine that they're there. This is going to be so huge for you. Let them know that you're there, that you recognize that you had a grudge against them. Tell them how they hurt your heart. And then tell them, I release you. I unhook myself from you, from this situation. And let them know that you are no longer holding them hostage. And that you're ready to soar and you no longer need to hold on to them as a way of protecting yourself. So, man, okay, that is like, I almost forgot to give you like the best part of the whole day. And so next week, we're going to talk about how to forgive someone who is not sorry. Man, oh my goodness. Okay. I hope you have gotten some, just a lot from this, and that you will like take me up on doing the work. And now I love you all, and I will see you next week, but I'll be here in the comments. Okay. Love you all. Bye.